Good evening, spooky beer bums. It's the DrayMen's Knowledge Halloween Special.
Hello, DrayBarrels. Governor? Where is he? Oh!
Ooh, I'm a spooky bastard.
I like your background. That's spooky. Oh, anyway.
You could have dressed up.
Ah?
You could have made the effort. You look a bit different after you've had a shave.
I'm trying to cut down as well, you know. Hey, I like your t-shirt.
Hey, right. I'm turning the light on. There's no way I'm doing the whole thing, sir. It's me. Have a look at this, yeah. Little trick or beer.
Commendable.
How jolly is that, eh?
That is brilliant. And I'm already spilling my beer.
Oh dear. We're doomed, as you say.
Doomed.
Tell you what, that fucking mask has left an imprint on my face.
How long did that take? Like 5 minutes? Well, less than that, right? You know? There we go. Ghosts in the machine, DrayBarrels. Ghosts in the machine.
Before we kick off, I've been banished to the garage. It's half term over here. The kids are off school. A couple of them are still awake. We got visitors down. So I've come to the garage, but it's added to a bit of spookiness. And I've got...
Oh, what is it? A bouncy seat?
Oh, that's not my hips. That's my son's drumming stool. Chalk it up. I hope you got something spooky over there.
I do, and actually I've been banished to the porch today because it's my little boy's birthday and they're having some fun and shenanigans inside. So I'm going to do it out in the sweating conkers out here. It's hot, isn't it? And
it's not cold here. It's a bit in between. I'm comfortable in a double t-shirt, long sleeve under a short sleeve ensemble. But won't be long before it starts dipping, I tell you.
And you'll be playing conkers, won't you? With the kids.
Not again. Got bad, didn't I?
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up, but violent. Anyway, welcome to our little Halloween podcast, DrayBarrels. We've got some spooky beers lined up today. I'm sure you have. Oh, it's a plane. Have you got any?
I've got a spooky beer, yeah, and I've been drinking a bit of a vocation brew this evening, which is life and death. So
that is.
I'm in the mood. Ooh.
Goody.
I just hope those shitty zombies come past and destroy it. So
with the long nails. Oh God! I think he's already been here. He's knocking over my beers. But anyway, I'm just enjoying a quick pumpkin ale, you know, because it's just so many pumpkin beers here. I thought I'd have one while before we get on to the main one. Sorry about that. But hey.
So what is it? Is that to tie in with any beer news, that pumpkin brew? Or?
Well, actually it is, because obviously, as you well know.
Oh, yeah, it's beer news of the week.
And it is, yeah, folks. I came across something which is it's actually a world record that they've they've made the most. Now what they say, it came from the Chicago Tribune, and what they said is the USA, so it kind of pertains to the USA, but it relates to the world, that they've produced the most pumpkin beers ever this year and sold the most pumpkin beers ever. So produced and sold has gone to record world levels. So
that's good to hear. As you know, I've been struggling over here with getting things, and the only one I found that I could have got hold of, but I didn't, was a guy that brewed it on his own and sold it on what's that thing called, Etsy, is it, or something like that?
eBay.
And it was just called Keith's Pumpkin Beer.
Keith.
Keith's Pumpkin Beer. Yeah, serious. Keith. Not Keith. Not our Keith. Not Mac.
Oh, man.
But no, Keith Pumpkin Beer. But, over here, not even my crafty beer shops had one. None of the supermarkets have stocked it.
Well,
Maybe we should fucking jump on it over here and open a little microbrewery and see what happens.
Definitely.
The place I'm reviewing tonight, good English place, is they're a little microbrewery really that have peddled their wares through online sales and things. So I suggest they do a little pumpkin brew for next year, because I think it would fly.
Wouldn't it? I mean, I'm really surprised, and I don't know if there's such an abundance in pumpkin crops in the UK as there is over here. Do you think that pertains to it? Well, there's so much here. I mean, the farms. I don't know. I saw Monty Don growing pumpkin, so maybe.
I bet you can confirm.
But they classify it as, they don't say, they say pumpkin beers in the Chicago tribute, but they call it a yam beer. That's the classification of it. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
No, I've never heard of that. Interesting.
I think that's something Keith would say, yam beer. If
he would actually. He'd enjoy that. He would enjoy that. Right, so let's move on from that.
Yeah.
A bit of jolly for now. Let me just pop it up on my phone here. I have found something. I know how you're fond of Poetry Corner in the DrayMen's cellars. You've been hinting at that over the last few weeks. So I thought I'd try and find a little Halloween beer style poem, because I knew that would tickle your conkers, so to speak. So I have found one that's like a well-written verse or anything. It tends to be a bit of a neighborhood prank style thing, and I think it's in America that it come from. And have you ever heard of You've Been Boozed?
No, I haven't. I've heard of You've Been Framed, but not You've Been Boozed.
No, it's slightly different. You've Been Boozed is well, let me read you the little ditty poem that goes along with it. And so you'd have maybe a ding dong on your bell, or a knock on the door, or maybe you would just open your door and there'd be a little package left there. And in it would contain this sort of little poem that says, "Late last night, we left you a grown-up treat, wine, beer mixers, whiskey sour or sweet. Take old Drac and pin him on your door to let others know you need boozing no more. Now it's your duty to pass on this surprise to 2 more neighbours. Go and get your disguise. Gather some treats and deliver them soon, within 2 nights in the light of the moon. Include old Drac with each package you drop, along with this poem as you cover the block." And there's old Drac up there in the corner. Is he in the picture? Yes, he is. He's up there.
Yes.
So I actually had a little look at this. I picked this one because it was the easiest to read, but there was lots on there, and it's not just Dracula. They've chosen Dracula. Other people have said old Ghosty or Scarecrow or whatever. But basically, I think the thing where it's like a bit of you leave a couple of beers on your neighbour's doorstep. You don't tell them you're doing it. It's a surprise. You leave a poem. It's a bit of a pay it forward, bit of hijinks for Halloween,
Yeah, and that's a big
community spirit. So.
And that's a big thing, is the pay it forward thing. And I've seen it on a lot of websites over here, but I've never heard of that one. That's interesting.
You've been boozed.
And is it only, so they do it all year round, I'm guessing. It's not just for Halloween, but that's the Halloween one.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's, I know it's around Halloween. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't go into the details of it.
Well, I'm fascinated. I feel like I should maybe do one myself on All Hallows.
Yeah.
You
See
know?
how it goes.
Yeah, but do you think you should do it to somebody you know or just a stranger?
Maybe you should do it to your heavy metal, death metal, wankathon neighbour. And it might break the bridge. It might break it, and you might just turn it down a notch.
Yeah, that's a bloody good idea. Old Fat Swallow next door. I'm bloody sick of that guy. He's probably listening on the balcony here. There's a balcony right next door. I'm out on the balcony. But listen, DrayBarrels, he actually stands at the top of the stairs and drops his trash bag down and tries to aim it in his trash can below, instead of walking.
What's his
success rate? Actually, pretty darn good, because I haven't seen a bag unless he's gone down there afterwards and picked it up. But I watch him sometimes from the window, so his aim is pretty good. But it's like
he's got up in my estimation. That's shit hot skills there.
I guess it's time saving. I don't know. Hey, anyway, it's by and by. We digress.
But I think you should maybe just try it with a friend of yours, a friend, neighbour, or work colleague.
Yeah.
And just, maybe just a beer for Halloween, and just play it cool, nothing to do with you, and see how it brightens their day.
Well, you could probably do it, couldn't you, on your neighbourhood? Could you?
Fuck it. I could leave my empties and giving away beer. You mental?
That's probably That's
right,
probably
come on, let's crack on with La Review.
So I did the new.
Gabbled. I need to pause a minute after my poetry. So carry on, old boy.
So yes, I do believe it should be you, right? Because I did the news of the week, so to speak. Or do you want me to?
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I know that you'd sooner sit out on the porch than spend the time with your son on his birthday. So I'll do whatever you wish.
Okay. Oh, you put me to shame.
Okay. Right. So I've gone, as I said, I hinted at earlier, and I said, gone for an English beer, and I've gone for one because I'm in the garage. I have a couple, review a couple on the Insta later in the week, but I've gone for one because I'm in the garage, and I know a couple of the DrayBarrels have said it before, with the guinea pigs in the background occasionally, and occasionally the hamster. I have gone for the hamster of doom.
Oh, I love it.
The hamster of doom. So I don't know why I'm doing a Scottish accent, because it's English. Now, it's from Ridgeway Brewery, who we'll get to in a minute, and it is described as a brown ale with bite. It's a 5.8%. So I'm going to see how it pours. I'm just going to open it, and we'll get to the nitty gritty.
Where's he gone now?
Oh, he's back again. Renegade Master. 3/4 amateur in the ill behaved. Right, anyway, it's a different podcast, isn't it? So the hamster of doom. So there we go. It's a pretty scary hamster, almost like a fucking orc or something. But
it looks like a Game of Thrones kind of.
This one is to our resident hamster of the garage, Wobble. This one's for you.
I don't think we've
for
done.
The post banger.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It's a brown ale. It deserves a handled glass. So here we are. Oh, I like the sound of that.
I don't think we've done a brown ale.
I think I've done different ales.
One. Yeah, maybe one.
Yeah. Well, it's that time of year, isn't it, over here? I do like my bottled beers. traditional bottle, as I like to talk about the brown bottle. Let me change hands a minute, if you don't mind, DrayBarrels. So look at that.
Oh,
What a lovely pineapple.
It's a nice colour. It is a
lovely head on that.
Oh yeah, you've poured that well this week.
Oh, I tell you what, Mickins. I know you're over there and you've got some lovely looking pubs and that, but that is the smell of wood, a wooden bar top that has had decades and decades of spillage on top of it, and the goodness, the beer and whatnot has filtered down into the wood. As you walk into it, you know that smell of a British pub when you walk into a good.
You can't
get that smell.
You can't.
That is I say English because it's British, but that is an English beer, but a British smelling pub right there.
Yeah. Oh,
beautiful. Let's get my head in it.
Good old age.
Oh, it's tasty. A tasty brown beer.
So we had
a little bit of nuttiness, very malty as you'd expect. But let's have a look. The light's not too good at it because my other light's gone. And I wanted my spooky effect behind. But I'd say, I'll look up to the light there. He's midway. He's definitely a brown ale, but you can see through him. Hang on. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, that's from my one mouthful.
Oh, you've been eating that today.
Yeah, this is from Ridgeway Brewing, as I mentioned.
Okay.
They are based in Oxfordshire, and they're from a small little town, or not really a town, which I can't remember what it's called, but it's sort of north-west of Reading, which is to the west of London, not quite halfway, around halfway between London and Bristol, north of the M4. And this is from, it's just into Oxfordshire. So lovely part of Britain there.
It is. You always know Reading when you see that windmill as you go down the M4. Do you always remember that?
Oh, yes. Great. You're talking about Green Park. Yes, of course. Green Park Industrial Estate. The Chinese have got in there with their Hawaii, or whatever you call that.
Sounds tasty.
Popular tablet they've got. So yeah, I thought I wrote down the name of the place, but it's very. It's not Stoke. It's something like that, but it's not the proper Stoke. It's another one. So it's not far from the Thames, which of course follows all the way and winds its way into London and widens out through the greater city of London and out through to Southend. A very long river in English terms, a couple of 100 miles plus. And it's set up in 2002, but I'll go on about that in a minute because I want you to wet your whistle over there, old boy.
Oh yeah, sure thing. I'm going to move my skull because I'm going to knock it over in a minute. But oh man, do you know what? I think that's the first beer we've done from Oxford, right? Which is exciting.
I think so.
It's normally Yorkshire.
I think so. Oh, like a Yorkshire, and I'm glad I found this one. Well, I have to say, the wee wife in stairs, up the stairs. She's blind and she can't hear.
She's got to do everything.
She's sourced. She's just above us now, so I better keep it to hushed tones. But she sourced a couple of strange and wonderful things for this Halloween. So this was one that she found, and I'm very glad of it.
Fair play. And in similar vein, my my good wife did the same for me for my beers. She bought me a 12-pack of bottled beers, and my one is from Elysian Brewing, and it's called Dark O' the Moon. So it's very Halloween. So it's a pumpkin stout, folks. So
this is a first for us,
right? I don't think we've done a pumpkin stout, have we? We've done A
You've
few
done
other.
a pumpkin beer. Yeah, I definitely haven't. I don't think you've reviewed one.
No,
This is a
no.
first all round.
It's a first. It's a first for the DrayMen, I should say. And I got a new bottle opener, a fancy one for the new house that my wife got me. I like their beer caps.
What's that made out of? The handle?
It's like a wicker, like you got those wicker seats. So
the camera fine then, because I thought it was some sort of bone from the distance, but it's wicker. I like that.
Yeah, kind of nice and gold. So just a little fancy, better than the normal shite. So yeah, I'll get look, I've got a Halloween themed.
Oh, bless him. Bless him.
It's the kiddos. Yeah, I thought it, and it's clear, so you can kind of see the color a little bit, right? So.
Hey, you've not poured it.
Oh, I'll be the judge of that. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's dark from here.
It is dark, isn't it?
That's as dark as the inside of an old man's arsehole.
Bloody hell, and I tell you what, it's pretty dark head on it as well. Not much of a head, I have to say. That's not much.
What percent are we looking at? It's got to be a high percentage.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a 6er. It's not a big one. Oh, sorry, 7.5. So it's not an imperial one. I love the artwork as well. Good old werewolf. As they say, like, what was the professor in Harry Potter who was the werewolf? Oh, shite, we watched that on the weekend. And he turns into a werewolf.
Lupin?
Lupin, Professor Lupin, that's right. Hints of chocolate. I am picking up the pumpkin, I have to say. And plastic. Pumpkin and plastic.
Is that a glass or is that plastic?
No, it is. It's plastic.
There we are, and that's why. It's not the beer then.
No, that's why I said it, but it was lost. But
I see your wife let you drink it without the beaker top on this week. She trusts you being on the porch.
Yeah, I get my other bottle, which incidentally was from the same brewery. It came with 4 different beers, and this was a pumpkin ale, not a pumpkin stout. But that's what I started with. So, it's a shout out to Elysian. They are out of Seattle, Washington State. But taste-wise, it's actually, when you look at it, it looks thick, but it isn't. It's pretty light. It's not heavy in any way.
What I describe as a watery stout, like more traditional style.
Exactly. Dark though. I mean, we saw that one you had last week, remember? And it was kind of more of a traditional kind of a watery one, but it looked a bit lighter. This is really dark. But it is light on taste,
I've got one reserved for the stout special, which if it says what it does on the can, is going to blow your fucking socks off, me old China.
What's the percent?
Oh, it's nothing to do with percent.
What is it? The characteristics of it or what?
The thing is, I've only bought 1 can of it. So really, I should have bought 2 because, like myself, my anticipation is rising. We're still best part of 5 weeks away.
I know. Yeah. Oh shit! I kept
the review.
Oh, I kept. Remember that Christmas vacation stout one, Uncle Eddie. I kept that stout in the can. I bought it back in the summer, but they say you shouldn't really keep stouts that long in the can. Back it, I am, and I gotta keep it for Christmas, haven't I?
Well, if it's got a drink by date on it at the bottom, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. They say stouts don't hold as well.
Is it called Cousin Eddie the shitter was full?
Something like that, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'll pull it out. I might keep that one for us, when we do our joint one, just for a laugh, and we can pull up.
Oh, shits and giggles! I love it.
Shits and giggles. So, pretty.
So with your one there, the old Harry are you saying that?
Oh,
The name of the
Dark Over the Moon.
no, the company.
Oh, Elysian. So
Elysian. I always said Elysian, but
yeah.
that plays a trick with my brain. The actual name, and they're not going to like what I say, and it's nothing, no reflection on the brewery there. I'm sure it's a very fine establishment, but when we go camping over here, there's especially people that have their own camper van toilet and or something along those lines. When those things get full, chemical toilet, when those things get full up, you have to go and tip it and obviously clear it. And the place, they have like a little room, tiny room, with a hole in the floor or like a well top. It's called an Elsan drop. And whenever I see Elysian or Elysian or whatever you say, I automatically think of a shithole.
Well, I wouldn't have.
And the one that there's a picture of me pouring our chemical toilet at Glastonbury many moons ago, and that my brother took of me, and the contents of it were pretty vile.
We were at this pumpkin patch on a weekend, and they had chemical toilets everywhere, and it was like, but the name of the company was like, I'll ask my good wife, this could be wrong, but it was in the vein of like the Choco Storer or something nice, brown related, or it was something along that lines. I can't remember offhand, but I was like, what a great name for a shitter company. You know, it implies something a bit nicer than what it is, and it's more enticing. It had bubbly writing, and I was like, this is genius.
Well, it's like the company around here, that drain company around North Devon, and they're called the Shifters. But they star the letters, so it goes SHI star ERS.
Oh,
so it looks like it says shitters, but it's the Shifters. Brilliant, simple, but people never forget it.
No, it stays in your mind. A good play on words, and they work in it. So anyway, talk about your brewery, because there's not much in this bottle. Because I'm like, this is gone.
So this was set up 2002. So we're coming up 20 years ago. This was by Peter Scully. I hope I say your name right there. And his wife Vanda. Now, they have they pride themselves on tradition, but also innovation. So they're trying to branch over. They like traditional ways, making it attractive to newer audiences, if you will. All under one roof. Like I said, they're based in Oxfordshire, in the middle of southern England there. And when I typed it into their website, they've got a website. It's pretty, by some of them, it's pretty sort of basic. You can find out everything you want on there. You can't order directly from them, but it gives you a list of the outlets that you can buy them from. Okay. And I was looking when it zoomed in on old Google Maps there, which I like to do, like to see the setup and where it is and where it lies within the village or the countryside or wherever it is. Ridgway Brewing looks to that it comes from, it may be a microbrewery from their own property.
Oh, I
see. There's no big sort of warehouse-sized brewery there. It looks like it's quite a small outfit that are making good beer. They're selling plenty of beer through these different outlets, online and various shops around the country. It's got a list of all of them and pubs that they sell it in. But they've got a good variety of beers on there. Like I said, it's coming up 20 years. I'll list a few of them. They've got Ridgway IPA. They've got a Ridgway Bitter, Oxfordshire Blue, Ivanhoe. They have a stout, and they also have a Russian Imperial Stout. They do a gluten-free beer range, which is big, obviously, nowadays. They've got 5 or 6 beers on that range, but they've also, which is an added treat for me today when I was researching them, they've got 10 plus Christmas beers.
Yeah.
They've got Elf, Naughty Elf, Seriously Naughty Elf, Insanely Naughty Elf, and they all go up in percent.
Yeah.
Then they've got Santa's Butt Porter, and this one for you, got to try and get you one of these. Lump of Coal Christmas Stout. Chuck it up.
I thought you were going to say the Banter's Bat would be for me, being a batty.
Oh, no, the Lump of Coal. And there's another one for a friend of ours, the Darch Bad King John, which is a black ale. So the Ridgeway, a little bit of history on the Ridgeway. That was sort of an old trading route, pretty much followed the Thames. And they just thought it was a nice name because they're not very far from it. In fact, they're right on it to name their brewery. But other than that, I believe it's just still the pair of them and maybe 1 or 2 others producing this beer. And this beer, first one I've had so far, I'm only halfway through, is really nice. There's no aftertaste, no horrible aftertaste, I should say.
What was the percentage on that one?
It's a 5.8, but if you went into a pub and picked it as a local bitter, as I like to do, try and pick something local if it's on tap, you'd be very pleased to receive that, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
good brown beer.
So I'm kind of curious as well, just asking questions here. How did your wife find it? Was it, I know she sourced it.
It was from the, basically what people do these days, they type it into Google, the Far Eyes, and, they can find things like that. And not so much on the Yahoos, but the rest of it, she typed it in, come up, and then it was one of the bigger outlets that we've ordered from before. It come up on their supply that they come in stock. So I've got a couple of bottles of this actually. I'm glad I got another bottle to enjoy. Delivered straight to the door, which is great.
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to the local pub, which looks like, oh my God, excuse me.
Ooh,
it's a good brown beer. Join it. I like having a burp. I like having a good full burp like that after you've had a nice drink. The Perch and Pike pub, like I said, it's not far from the River Thames. That's the local pub to the village. Let me just have a quick gander on my old phone because I did have it on next. I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't write down the name of the village. Here we are.
Look it up. Look it up.
So we've got East South Stoke, which is not far away from Molshford and Goring, and what's we got here? Whitchurch on Thames. So Whitchurch. Oh, should have mentioned that round.
Gives me a shiver. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have zoomed out. Oh, that's taken us somewhere we didn't want to go. Can't veer away from that.
Yeah.
Halloween's about fun. There's another beer I got in the fridge, which I am going to stick out there because it's in the same vein as Halloween, but I think it's one step further. I like the jollification.
Takes it to the next level, like a certain gentleman would take it to the next level. So
I'm a massive fan. As a family, we're massive fans of Halloween. But I don't, and I like reading Stephen King books, but I don't particularly like gory films or horror films even.
Like
I don't mind Halloween itself, and I don't mind scary movies. It's a bit tongue in cheek, but anything like, I don't know, I don't watch them, but The Devil's Rejects and shit like that ain't up my street.
I know
this guy. It's not my thing.
The Darch, I know the Darch enjoys these ones like The Devil's Reject. I know that's a personal favourite of his. Or the slasher movies and that, you don't see a lot of blood to those stabber-thongs.
He gets in them. He's Rob Zombie, people like that. The directors. He gets 1 or 2 VHSs of them in, didn't he? And a couple of crates of Fosters and a box of Kleenex, and he's there all night. Shit the bed. just repeat it over and over because he heard it in the film. He's a lad, isn't he?
He's a lad. He does.
I don't know.
Rob
Shouldn't have
Zombie.
said, as part of that, I shouldn't have said. Everyone knows he uses an old T-shirt.
Yeah, he's yeah. Whereas I'm like it with Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or anything, he's like it with Rob Zombie. But each to their own, you know. You go with what you like.
It's good fun. So give us a bit of lowdown on your brewery.
It's all good.
The Elysian drop.
Oh, I know. Anyway, so yeah, mine is Elysian Brewing, and it's not a shithole. So I've heard.
No.
I never knew about this brewery until the coach, the elusive coach who never appears, introduced.
Oh, the man who's been visiting the markets and the local American football games.
Yes, that's the one. So he actually has been up in Seattle this weekend, and this brewery is based out of Seattle. So he kind of introduced it to me, but you can find them now in Texas, which is good. So they're really expanding their reach. So this brewery, like I said, they're out of Seattle, and they opened their doors in 1996. So they are, you know, they're pretty well established. So what they say?
Years.
Well, they say 1996 when bold art and music defined Seattle. So we're kind of talking about Nirvana were pretty odd back then, weren't they? And Foo Fighters and all that grunge scene, because
he was dead by then, wasn't he? Was he dead by then?
Oh, I think he was, wasn't he? But I know Foo Fighters were going, so we became opposite. The grunge movement, you know, like Smashing Pumpkins.
Seattle famous for its fish.
I don't know. Really? What, fish
Isn't it?
market?
Yeah, fish markets and that. I'm sure it is. Speak to the coach. He'll give you the lowdown.
Yeah, I'll ask him. He's up there right now. But yeah, I mean, so over the past 25 years, they've carried the same spirit of that bold movement of art and music, which Seattle is pretty famous for. I've never been there. I've been to Vancouver, and I've heard it's a lot like that. But they take that up and they shake it up the classic styles and mix up local ingredients and experiment a little bit. And that's their kind of story, really. They just try and push the boundaries of creativity and make interesting new recipes and stuff like that. I mean, I've had a few of their beers, I've got to say, and they're always rather, I honestly say I'm slightly underwhelmed by this one, though. But this one I had earlier, this Elysian Pumpkin Ale, is phenomenal. It's really tasty. It captures the pumpkin, but the stout. But anyway, I'll review it a bit more detail in a bit, but it's just...
A bit flat, is it?
I think flat is probably the right word, and maybe you kind of expect something. Maybe I should have gone for an imperial stout, like a pumpkin imperial stout, and maybe that would have just, you know, had more of an impact, you know. But yeah, so they're pretty well established. They seem to have a lot going on up there. They've got like a great pumpkin beer festival coming up on October the 1st and 2nd, which is fun. A few other things. Now,
hasn't that happened?
Huh?
You said it was October the 1st and 2nd.
Oh shit, that's gone. I guess they already had it. Sorry. They need to update their website.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean they need to update it? You need to know what fucking day of the month it is.
That's true. I went with it. I just saw it there as things coming up. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool and Halloween-y. And it's gone. But, yeah, they had a wonderful pumpkin festival.
I bet they did. That's brilliant. You should have gone. If only you'd seen it sooner.
Oh, my God. What's he like? But they have... they have 3 locations, which is interesting. So they're pretty well established in Seattle. They have their original location, which is Capitol Hill Brewery. They have Elysian Fields, which is their downtown restaurant, which they say is the place to go before, during, and after games. So obviously Seattle Seahawks, sorry. Seawolves are the rugby team in Seattle, which are a big team as well. And they also have the Elysian Tap Room, which is a new location. So pretty good, you know, a lot going on there. Their website's brilliant. So as soon as you click onto it, they have like static kind of music playing in the background and kind of like those GIF things that you see that move around, like a moving picture.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's kind of
Jiffy.
Cool. Jiffy.
Happy Halloween.
Jiffy.
Happy Halloween.
I knew a Jiffy once. He was a bit of a bully, actually, up in the valley. Jiffy, yeah.
Has he changed his name to Stiffy now?
Probably. I hope so. No, I shouldn't say that. He's 6 feet and no, actually. Why? He's not going to bloody listen to us, is he? If he's 6 feet under, if he's a stiffy.
Is he?
But I don't know. He could be.
No, I didn't say stiffy. Jesus Christ! I said siffy.
Oh, I thought you said stiffy.
Remember when Jiff became Sif?
No.
Oh, Jiff, the bath and kitchen cleaner, became Sif.
Oh, I kind
Bath
of.
and kitchen.
Yeah. Why did they change that? Oh, that's kind of spooky. I interpreted it as stiffy, like a body or something.
What, Jiffy had a stiffy? Well, clean it with stiffy. Hey, let's have a look at your stock. You got the Witchwood Brewery Hobgoblin. Let me just check something.
Oh yeah. So
it's
kind of Star Wars themed, but it's the closest to Halloween I've got. But I got a Ghostbusters t-shirt somewhere.
Just hold your horses there, Sadie. I'm looking for something.
That's all right. I'm keeping the DrayBarrels entertained with my missing Ghostbusters t-shirt story. So I had it. I can't remember what it was for. It must have been some Halloween thing. And I put it in the drawer and I never saw it again. But yeah, that's the story.
Pretty spooky there. No, the beer I was after is not in this fridge. It's in my indoor fridge. So I can't check them. I believe it's Witchwood. Not Hobgoblin. It's another one.
It's pretty, I mean, it's a spooky brand anyway, but it's pretty readily available through the UK. And my great uncle bought me this t-shirt. But actually, some visitors from the UK actually bought me a crate of Witchwood beers once when I was over here. But yeah, it's a good. It
is in there. I apologise. For my brief absence. My beer fridge is located 2 meters that way, 3 yards. And the Witchwood beer is in there. And the reason that I was looking in the wrong part of the fridge is it's a stout.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen stouts on them. That's interesting. Okay, you need to maybe do a review.
I will do in December.
Okay, I am, because we're getting on for time as always. I'll list a couple of beers and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
So they do an IPA called Space Dust. That sounds interesting. That's an 8.2. So it's a high ranking one. They also do an orange pale beer. Oh, sorry, a pale ale called Super Fuzz Blood Orange. And they actually have another a pumpkin beer. Is that the one I had? No, it isn't. It's a different one. It's called Night Owl Pumpkin Ale. So that would be one to check out. But that's it, really. I mean, sounds pretty good.
The only thing I'd say about mine is that they always use classic English hops, big variety, but English hops, they always use them. It's a very, very English beer, this. And I haven't found out why it's called Hamster's Doom. Perhaps it's a similar thing. Maybe they have hamsters in their garage where they brew their beer. But couldn't find out why it was called that. Got a bit of bite, so yes.
be something for the future. Could be a story, behind it. A lot of these names do. But
maybe Peter himself or his wife Vanda will contact us on the intranet, and we'll find out in due course.
yeah, and we'll tag them as we do, and it'll be interesting to find out. Peter, tell us. All right. Hey, listen, I got something interesting this week, and we could waffle on a bit. We got a little bit of time, but it's called...
Oh, it's Halloween Spooky Drag of the Week.
Did you hear that?
It's a spooky drag, is it?
So it was Halloween Spooky Drag of the Week. Because there's a bit of background shite over here, so if it's a bit noisy, I do apologise. But before that...
No, we heard it.
Go in. But before that, fool of a man, my butler Terry left my employment. He recorded a bunch of stuff, and that was him. But yeah, hey, so it's basically a Halloween drag or something that irked you of Halloween's pasts or presents or something like that. So.
I have one. Did you want me to do mine?
Please
okay,
do.
Well, my Halloween drag is that both the UK, Britain as a whole, and America love Halloween, celebrate it. Our children celebrate it, and it's a fun time of the year. Although it's monsters and ghouls and whatnot, it's a fun time of the year. The thing that my trick is that when I see a lot of American films and American TV series, and there's a Halloween episode, is that half of the people that are going to a fancy dress thing, if you like, are maybe ghosts and goblins, and the other half just dress up as what the fuck they want, like superheroes, or even in Karate Kid, he dresses up as a shower. And it gets me because over in the UK, if you go trick or treating, you wear something spooky: ghost, witch's costume, werewolf, vampire, Frankenstein, all the classics. People adults go a bit further, a bit more gory and all that. But it's all zombies and things like that. And no one goes out dressed as Superman or fucking Barney the dinosaur or Teletubby, any of that. And I didn't get why Americans dress up as anything on Halloween rather than just spooky stuff.
But when you watch you watch the old Halloween, even the original one, didn't they? In that they dressed up as spooky stuff, but I think it's just been a change over the years, right? Because I swear they were all as ghosts and vampires and stuff for the original Halloween movie.
You have a young man over there yourself, your son, and he must have done some Halloween stuff over the years. Has any of his friends turned up not in Halloween-y type stuff?
I would probably say most of them do, because, like, for instance, my son is dressing up as Indiana Jones this year, and I think it's just an excuse to dress up. Really, that's what Halloween's turned to a little bit. And I am dressed.
You know what? Because I was so irked by it, so moved, I actually researched why.
Oh, you
so
did?
I have an answer. My friend. It's that the origins of Halloween as such, although it's massively celebrated in America, and that's sort of come this way with the candy and the toffee apples and the bobbin and the good feel nature of it. The actual origins tend to kind of sort of hark back to Celtic times, even predating Christians. And it was sort of they said this time of year, sort of the dead and ghouls could rise and walk the earth, and it was to mark the beginning of winter.
That's right.
And in America, as it's sort of gone on, when Christianity and some of the other bigger religions over there, Catholicism and whatnot, took over, they sort of said that you could only dress up as people from the Bible on Halloween, and you weren't to dress up as demons or devils or anything like that, because it was against the Christian faith, which is why a lot of people wanted to dress up. Of course, kids want to dress up at any excuse, so they would come as a farmer or a scarecrow or a whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I think in America it's sort of, you've got the Bible Belt in America, and you've got other places like that where strong opinions and strong religions, not so much recently, but certainly 50 years ago were a lot more. So they would say, well, you can join in, but you can't dress up as anything evil or dead. So they would go in just ordinary type of, dress up as a policeman or whatever.
Right. That's so fascinating, and almost that rings true, because my Halloweens in Britain as kids were vampires with black bin bags and shit like that, and vampire teeth. But like my two Halloweens that are the most memorable was me as a psychopathic hillbilly, and me as Jacob Marley, and they're both spooky in a way, But
the hillbilly was unnerving. Those dungarees seem to fit you like a motherfucking glove.
But then since coming here,
like a fucking thriller.
gonna have a good time. And this year, I'm dressing as Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. He's not particularly scary. And last year I was out of state, so I didn't participate. But my old friend Bill Ships turned up,
He dressed up as Aragorn. He's not scary at all. He's a goodie.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm doubting myself now, but a lot of people used to say I looked a bit like him.
Go as Gollum. Fuck it. Shave your beard off, shave your hair off, stick a loincloth on and walk around as Gollum. It'd be brilliant.
I did it once on a sand dune.
Really, Gollum, he's possessed, isn't he? He's possessed by the ring.
Yeah, he is creepy. He's a creep. Or if you dressed as Sauron, you'd be kind of scary, wouldn't it? Or even Saruman is kind of a creepy wizard in a way, but oh well. Hey, maybe next year. But what are you doing this year?
I'm dressing up as Cousin It, motherfucker.
That is brilliant.
The costume wasn't quite what I thought, but I fucking bought it and I'm going to wear it.
So there's a challenge to us at DrayBarrels. You've heard it here first. Me and the governor will get a photo of ourselves holding a beer in our costumes. Do you think that's
See, now, for me, that's quite hard because Cousin It doesn't appear to have arms.
No, it needs to be Thing holding it on the side with the beer next to Cousin
It. Cracked it. That is fucking genius, old boy. I'll definitely get Thing to do that. Well done.
Anyway, we're getting towards the end. I'll just I only have a quick drag. I'm not going to drag this out. I'm finishing my beer. My drag is not being able to trick or treat for the past 3 years with my little boy. And I will tell you for why. Before you say,
you tell me why.
And I will tell you for why. It's obviously last year was COVID, so that just didn't happen. The year before that, my little boy was sick and my wife was sick, or maybe it was COVID early, because that was being 2019. So we didn't do it then. We cancelled trick or treating. And the year before that, we were driving out to some friends to do it, and we turned around because the rain was torrential. It was flooding on the roads in San Antonio. So in a way, my drag is that he's missed 3 years of trick or treating. So we're finally doing it this year. So that's
Have you got a bucket for your candy corns?
Candy corns are a staple.
Oh.
There's
How
no
are you doing?
Cadbury's.
around the local condos, or you're going to
No,
friends' house?
yeah, where Steve Knowles lives. He lives kind of closer to downtown. It's an older neighborhood, a nice neighborhood, and it's a kind of traditional, quiet streets and older folks, and just kind of reminds me a little bit of those old American movies with picket fences and stuff like that. So
Friendly. He looks like he lives in a good place.
he's friendly and he's
What's
old.
he gonna do first day?
I don't know actually. I'll have to update.
Oh, hang on. What's scary? Is he going to be as scary as here? Oh, I think he's going to dress up as Tom Hanks in Big.
I don't know. I think I'll
Come on, go fucking Frankenstein. Come on.
Yeah,
You haven't been trick or treating. You're going to go as Aragon.
Yeah, let's make an effort. Let's make an effort to make it spooky again. No, you
go as King Arthur. At least you could go as a ghost. You could still be the same fucking costume. Go as King Arthur.
Yeah, but dead, you know. Get a bag of flour and throw it on. Oh, I remember. Yeah, that happened to me once. Yeah.
Oh, someone slam dunks you with a bucket of flour, with a parcel of flour, didn't they?
It was a bloody mess.
It was a bloody pumpkin scarecrow man, wasn't it?
Oh, that was him. Yeah. And he even had a pint with me in the pub. Rub it in.
And unfortunately, I think he had to leave early because he put a big thick chain on as a he put a big thick chain on as a style what do you call it? What do you call those scarves?
Cravat.
Yeah, chain cravat.
Yeah.
But the padlock had been done up too tight, and as the night went on and beer was flowing and it got hotter and hotter, he started not being able to breathe very well. And he'd left the key at home, the buffoon.
That was well planned, wasn't it? Oh God!
Yeah,
I'm surprised Taffy didn't just rip it off. Oh, there was Taffy was there as well.
Tell you what, you mentioned Taff.
Yeah,
I fucking saw him last week for the first time in maybe 10 years. Standing outside the old Flicky's bar.
Did you have a word or not?
No, I was shocked. I thought he was fucking dead.
Yeah, stiff.
And he was stiff, yeah.
Right. Anyway,
my beer, I could have drunk that when I had a drink, but it tastes nice even down to the drink. Sometimes beer is a bit, get a bit of residue or whatever. This is clean. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Hamster of Doom. I'm going in with an 8.
Oh shit, that's a nice ranking.
Very nice brown beer. Very nice brown beer.
All right, so Elysian Brewing, my pumpkin dark of the moon stout. Underwhelmed, to be honest with you. I was expecting more for a Halloween treat, but it's probably more of an old-fashioned stout. So I gotta kind of think about that. But it did taste kind of flat, and it does taste the pumpkin though. You can pull the pumpkin. So I'm gonna give it a 7. A 7 from me.
Okay.
But anyway, DrayBarrels, this has been fun. And to end the time, I'm gonna shove my mask on and say goodbye. We've thoroughly enjoyed.
I mean, obviously, mine is the old screen mask that my neighbour gave to me after she'd worn it, and I mean, your one is a bit of a Bocock mask, isn't it?
It does, and I don't quite feel Bococked, but I will be soon.
Oh, bollocks!
Bollocks, you all.
Well,